Are you there? Can you hear me? Welcome to this strange space. Who am I? It matters not as to who I am. I shall be your narrator for this recap. Feel free to grab some snacks before we begin. We begin our story in Aeonis, where Stephanie, having saved adventurers, decided to have a long break from adventures. While she did get her wish, it was only temporary. For one day, a friend of hers, named Clary, asked her if she wanted to come over at her place. She accepted her offer and spent some time with Clary at her place, where she told her respectable friend about Mythica and the adventures she had there. They traveled to the forest, where the mist leading to Mythica was located, and jumped inside, winding up in Skyhaven. At Skyhaven, Stephanie introduced her brown-haired buddy to Michelangelo, the Prince of Mythica, who was conversing with an advisor of a duke from a faraway land called Shimmoff. The advisor requested that the prince travel to this land to aid the duke in the battle against Raphael, a mouth-masked conqueror. If word of the prince isn't heard in 2 weeks' time, the blonde stranger will be sent, not Stephanie, but her father. This wasn't mentioned during the Golden of Darkness recap, but since Egovasion, Daniel, her father, changed for the better and works for the prince. 2 weeks later, no word was heard, and Daniel was sent to Shimmoff. A week after that, Stephanie became very worried, to the point where she decided to travel to that land with her friends. With Clario, Illustrian, and Toby, they traveled to Shimmoff to kick off a new adventure. They stood strong against whatever was thrown their way, undead monsters, bottomless pits, and insect people, to name a few. They also ran into some of the locals. One of them was an old friend of Stephanie, Mikey the Chubby, who tagged along with Stephanie and her friends on her journey. Not everyone on this land was good, though. A notable example would be Raphael's peons.
These were the following who Stephanie and her friends battled. Mumbles, an undead Eumythian with control over the undead. The Insecting Trio, a trio of naughty insectlings skilled in battle. Dwaytiara, a red dragon with firepower. Thundermax, a knight with a thunder sword. Beecloak, a blimp bee who proclaims to be a sorcerer, even though he's not. And 2 more who existed during the GOD story, Dr. Obscurele and Jambone II. Along the journey, the heroes came across strange pink stones located in various locations around Shimmoff. Apparently, Raphael and his men were searching for these. The reason? Very simple. The stones were needed for Raphael's crown, but this was no ordinary crown. In fact, it's the same one seen in the GOD story. Apparently, after the crown's defeat in the Golden of Darkness, it, alongside its stones, was separated and scattered, with the crown winding up in Mythica, and the stones, minus that one stone, winding up in Shimmoff. If the crown were to reclaim its remaining stones, its true strength would be regained. But that wasn't the only thing it was after, but we'll get into that later. Also, during the journey, lots of secrets were revealed. Raphael captured Prince Michael, followed by Daniel. The Duke of Shimmoff was a traitor, working for Raphael in order to save his life. Jumbo II was actually a human, and Clary's lost father. Raphael had a brother, the sorceress crafted a gauntlet, the crown and stones came from a cartoon, and Daniel himself was under a curse I cannot explain because it's too confusing to say it! Sorry for the whole lore jump thing, but there's one more I wish to speak of. The crown revealed to Raphael the person responsible for bringing it here. Tenebria. You've heard his name before, yet didn't get a good look at it. For those who coveted his appearance, here it is. Anyway, Tenebria asked Raphael to find the Diamond Steel Team from the Golden of Darkness, so that he may be free of his prison of shadow space, to which Raphael swore to him. Back to the heroes. They finally arrived at Raphael's palace to do battle with the Usurper of Shimmoff. The final showdown was at hand.
This shall be our final showdown. Are ye ready?
For Shimmoff.
the end, Raphael was defeated and freed from the corruption of his weapon, the Echo Hammer. I don't know how long it took me to tell you that, but I finally got this off my chest. At the same time, his henchmen found a diamond steel chain to which, in a fit of rage, the crown stole and used it to transport himself and the stones to parts unknown, leaving a huge loose end, waiting to be tied up. With that, our story is finally...
Tenebris?
It's you?
This is kind of awkward.
Awkward? This is awesome! You brought the diamond Stilton and stones into my prison! This means I can finally be free for real!
What about me?
You too, but leave this duckling.
Hello?